short line is one of our new pilots in 2019. That's rated to pilots in Fairford. Fairford previously served for 100 squadron flying the all category rest pilots. Then moved to the side booth and came to the team on Coningsby. This is short line.
Motorway stands here.
Smoke about As we move on to the left-hand side, it's time to represent another iconic aircraft. At 178 hours wide, it's been 3 decades on the front line, serving operations all over the world. And the maneuver that we represent it with is definitely one of the crowd and the photographer's favourites. So if you have a camera, get it ready, because it's time for tornado. As the lights coming towards us, the air brakes will come up, the smoke's about to come on. 8 and 9 will then begin their rolls. Here they go. 8 and 9 with the colour smoke rolling around the smoke of the rest of the aircraft. Red one bringing the formation towards us. He's about to back to the left with a change of smoke colour. Here it is. It's tornado.
Things like that make you think.
Those lights come on towards us. Red one about to give the command. Those first class split manoeuvres. 5 aircraft at the top. Back 4 at the bottom. As we look forward toward the detonator. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've just got through to Red 1. They are trimmed out, they have tested the smoke system. It's time to put your hands together for the 2019 Red Arrows! Red 1 leads the aircraft over in big battle formation, the red, white and blue smoke trailing behind as they pull up to the vertical. Red 1 calling the aircraft into short diamond. Over the top of the loop, 5,000 feet above us, it's Red 1 leading the formation. That's squadron leader Martin Pert. Martin is a former Harrier and Typhoon pilot. He's previously instructed on the Hawk and is in his 2nd year as Red 1. On the right of Red 1 in Diamond is Red 2, one of our new pilots for 2019. That's Flight Lieutenant Damo Green. Damo has previously flown the Hawk on 100 Squadron and he joins the Red Arrows from the Typhoon Force. Now celebrating the first of those 50th anniversaries, Red 1 brings the formation in from the right-hand side in Apollo formation. Get those cameras ready for the Apollo roll. Upside down at 3,000 feet above us, Red 1 rolls the iconic Apollo shape. Reds 4, 5, 8 and 9 smoking as they go.
speaks to the other pilots with a very metronomic cadence on the radio. They're reacting to his voice rather than to the movement of his aircraft, which is ensures very straight lines and symmetrical formation shapes in the maneuvers. Concorde, that great feat of Anglo-French engineering, combining engineering excellence with a beautiful design. As the aircraft come towards you, you'll see the front aspect of Concorde. Red 6 and 7 forming the engines underneath, as if the aircraft was on approach to Heathrow.
Really?
And pulling up calls Red 1 as the Concorde shape pulls to the vertical. As the aircraft climb, they're about to transition into the next formation shape over the top of the loop. It's time for Cygnet. On the right wing of Concorde was another new pilot for 2019, Red 4, Flight Lieutenant Gregor Ogston. Gregor has previously flown the Typhoon, and he came to the Red Arrows having instructed on the Hawk T2 at RAF Valley. As Red 1 leads Cygnet off to the right-hand side, the smoke goes off, and he calls the aircraft into a very technically difficult formation position. Now flying with 6 aircraft, all in line abreast, Red 6 and 7 tucking in behind. It's time for Phoenix. On the left of Red 1 in Phoenix is Red 3, Squadron Leader Mike Bowden. Mike has previously done 4 years on the team, and he returns whilst David Simmons recovers from injury. Get those cameras ready, the colour is about to come on for Phoenix. As Phoenix moves off to our right-hand side, Red 1 is calling the aircraft into Lancaster formation. The Lancaster obviously most well known for its critical role in World War II, but as we think about the D-Day celebrations 75 years on, we remember that the Lancaster was also employed with decoy tactics during the Normandy land. As Lancaster rolls inverted at 2,500 feet above us, you may think it's quite unusual for a Lancaster to be rolled. However, reputedly, the great test pilot Alex Henshaw rolled the Lancaster numerous times when he was testing them at Castle Bromwich. On the left wingtip of Lancaster, as it moves off to our left-hand side, is Red 5, Squadron Leader Steve Morris. Steve is a former Harrier and Tornado pilot. He's previously served on the Red Arrows and rejoins us for the 2019 season. Well, for those of you who are Red Arrows fans out there, you'll be aware of the next manoeuvre. It's the photographer's favourite. Celebrating the retirement of the frontline aircraft that has served with the Royal Air Force for 3 decades, having retired earlier this year to be replaced by the Lightning. It's time for Tornado. Around the smoke of the other aircraft. Red 1 about to bank the formation to the left, changing smoke colour as they go. It's Tornado. section of 5 aircraft is nicknamed Enid, after Enid Blyton's famous 5. Well, Red 1 has called the aircraft into Phoenix formation, which means he's going to start the second half full. As the nose lights come on towards us, 7 aircraft will pull to the vertical, the synchro pair will stay low. It's time for the palm split. Up go the 7 aircraft, Red 6 and 7 staying low. Get those cameras ready for the palm split. As the 7 the aircraft now closing together, closing speed of over 700 miles an hour. They'll cross in front of us 100 feet apart in the Jippo Pass. Red 6 and 7 staying low, 4-point rolling down the line, Red and crossing 100 feet apart in the Cyclone. Red 6 and 7 face up towards each other again. They're going to cross smoke paths in the Slingshot. Now look to your left-hand side. Here comes Red. Red 9 for this year is Flight Lieutenant Dan Lowes. Dan is a former Typhoon pilot and weapons instructor. He'd like to say hello to his mum and dad, to John and Hilary, to Pete and Sal, and especially to Samara. Look straight to your front for the nose lights of Red 9 for one of our favourite manoeuvres. It's the heart. The red smoke comes on, Red 6 and 7 pulling away from each other as they create the heart. Now coming down from the top right is Red 8. Red 8 comes down to complete the spear. Today the Red Arrow smoke trailing, Red 1 pulling them up to the vertical. Get those cameras ready, get the lenses zoomed out. It's time for the vertical break.
Hold them for fight now.
Break, break, go calls Red 1 for the vertical break. As they cross, the coloured smoke will come on, the aircraft pulling 6G, the pilots fighting hard against the G-forces as they cross behind us. The smoke changing colour, forming a red and a blue half of the circle. Changing to coloured as Red 1 leads them in 2 barrel rolls in a snake-like pattern across the sky in the Python. As Red 1 completes the first of those rolls, the aircraft coming in from our front right, the coloured smoke is on. Each aircraft having 1 minute of red and blue smoke in addition to the 5 minutes of white smoke operated by buttons on the control stick. As the aircraft enter the second of those rolls, I'd like to say a big hello to Ian and Val. As Red 1 completes the second of those rolls, he's flying a formation known as Leader's Benefit, with Red 1 at the front, Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 all in line abreast behind him. And there's smoke in the corkscrew.
8 and 9.
Aboard calls Red 9 as the coloured smoke comes back on. Reds 8 and 9 rolling around 6 and 7. As Red 9 sings complete once more, Red 6 rolls the formation out in a right-hand turn, disappearing off, the smoke about to come off to make way for Enid. Clear go, call 2 and 3, the signal for 4 and 5 to roll. Clear go, call 4 and 5 as Red 2 start their second rolls. This time Red 5 singing complete as the rollbacks finish off to our... Red 6 and 7 once more staying low from the break, their red and blue smoke changing to white as they move away from us, positioning for the last of their opposition manoeuvres. On the left is Red 7, Flight Lieutenant John Bond. John was formerly an instructor on the Tucano. He displayed the Tucano that you saw earlier, and he's in his second year on the team. He will next year take over. Now it's time for the double rolls. As Red 6, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the Red Arrows! afternoon on this, the last UK display for the Red Arrows in the 2019. Red 1 leading the aircraft over in big battle formation, the patriotic red, white and blue smoke flowing behind as they enter the first bend to the left. Red 1 electing to start the show rolling. Leading the team today is Red 1 squadron leader Martin Pert. Martin has formerly flown the Harrier and the Typhoon. He's instructed on the Hawk and is in his second year as the team leader. He'd like to say hello to all the family today, especially to his mum and dad, to Cecily, Fraser and to Susie. In from the left-hand side, Red 1 has moved the aircraft into short diamond formation. The smoke is about to come on. On the right of Red 1 in diamond formation is Red 2, one of our new pilots for 2019. Red 2 is Flight Lieutenant Damo Green. Damo has formerly been a pilot on 100 Squadron flying the Hawk, and he joined the team this year having flown the Typhoon at Coningsby. The smoke comes back on in short diamond. Red 1 has given the command to transition to the first of our historic formations. Celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Apollo moon landings, representing the Apollo landing craft in from the right-hand side. The smoke about to come on, the lights will come on towards us as the aircraft pull up ready for the Apollo roll. Upside down at 2,500 feet, the white smoke trailing in the Apollo roll. Off to our left-hand side, Red 1 reversing the turn around to the left before he gives the command for the next formation. Concord go towards Red 1, the smoke comes back on, the aircraft sliding forward into position. Yesterday we saw two Concorde formations, as I mentioned, with us and the Patrie. This time our version of the Concorde in from the left-hand side. Reds 8 and 9. On the right-hand wing of Concorde is another of our new pilots for 2019. It's Flight Lieutenant Gregor Obston. Gregor has formerly flown the Harrier and the Typhoon. He was formerly an instructor on the Hawk T2 and joined the team in 2019. You'll notice Red 1 speaking with a very metronomic cadence on the radio. The pilot's reacting to his voice commands rather than the movements of his aircraft, which keeps the lines very straight and the formation shapes very symmetrical. The aircraft now has moved into one of our most technically difficult formations with 6 aircraft all in line abreast, Red 6 and 7 tucked in at the back. The colour about to come on in Phoenix. On the left of Red 1 in Phoenix is Red 3 Squadron Leader Mike Bowden. Mike has formerly flown the Harrier and the Tornado. He's previously served on the team and rejoins us for 2019 whilst David Simmons recovers from a knee injury. As Phoenix moves, this
year, of course, marks the 75th anniversary of the D-Day landings, something that the Royal Air Force aerobatic team were privileged to commemorate both in Normandy and Portsmouth. The Lancaster, of course, involved in decoy tactics to take attention away from the beaches. In from the right-hand side, it's the Lancaster roll. The Lancaster, of course, not renowned for its aerobatic capability, but it is reputed that the famous test pilot Alex Henshaw rolled the Lancaster multiple times whilst testing them in Castle Bromwich. As the Lancaster flies off to our left-hand side, it's time to represent another aircraft from the Royal Air Force. This time the combat aircraft that retired this year. As Red 1 manoeuvres the formation towards us, the lights will be on, the air brakes will come out, the smoke will come on. The command for 8 and 9 to roll will be acknowledged by 9. Aboard goes Red 9 as Reds 8 and 9 with the coloured smoke roll around the other aircraft. Red 1 about to bend the formation to the left, changing smoke colour as they go. It's Tornado. Go whispers Red 9 as Tornado finishes to our right hand side. Well, the end of Tornado means we're approaching the end of the first half of our display. So Toby's a former Tornado GR4 pilot and 42 instructor. In from the left and right with a closing speed of over 700 miles an hour. They'll pass 100 feet apart. It's the Chipper. With the red, white and blue smoke is Red 9, Flight Lieutenant Dan Lowes. Dan is a former Typhoon pilot and a weapons instructor. He's in his third and final year on the team. And we'd like to thank his family and friends for all their love and support for his time on the Red 1 leading in section off to the left-hand side, the coloured smoke changing to white to make way to the next manoeuvre. Synchro there, maintaining that arm full smoke, sniffing the smoke as they go in the slingshot. Now in from the left-hand side with the smoke on is Red in the Vortex. Up through the middle of the formation is in from the left and right-hand side for the next of their opposition passes, it's Red 6 and 7, again with a closing speed of over 700 miles an hour. Red 6 on the right, about to roll inverted. red 7 the right way round until they cross. Then they'll switch in the vice versa. Steering on to the left, they're about to split high and low and widen before simultaneously rolling in the revolution. The left-hand turn with the colour red 1 leading the 7 aircraft off to our right-hand side. Time to look out to our left and right again. 7G circle passing 100 feet apart. It's time for carousel. Towards each other, about to change smoke colour as they cross, leaving the red and blue half of the circle. Behind him. Ray 1 leads them into the first of 2 barrel rolls in a snake-like shape across the sky. It's Python. Second roll, I'd like to say hello to the pickups and the weatheralls who are here today. As Enid move off to our left-hand side. Our board whispers red 9 once more as 8 and 9 roll around 6 and 7. Here they come. Seems red 5 as the rollbacks finish off to our right hand side, red 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the Red Arrows! patter back before they land on the runway and reverse for a taxi back. Well, ladies and gentlemen,